Summer 1943. On the Eastern Front, the largest single battle in history is about to unfold. Millions of soldiers, thousands of tanks, and an immense arsenal of artillery face off around the town of Kursk. Germany hopes to strike the Red Army with a decisive blow, crippling their ability to launch further offensives. But despite inflicting massive losses, the Germans will fail to achieve their goals. This is the story of why Germany lost the Battle of Kursk, the battle that turned the tide on the Eastern Front.
We attack now, before they can prepare!
Führer, delay will only strengthen the enemy.
We cannot fight on all fronts forever. Kursk must be crushed!
Gentlemen, the enemy is here. We attack at dawn, but our flanks are exposed. We can reinforce from the north.
By spring 1943, Germany faced a strategic dilemma. The Allies were advancing in North Africa, bombing German cities and defeating German U-boats at sea. Hitler knew he could not risk a multi-front war, so he planned cautiously, a limited strike in the east, designed to weaken the Red Army without risking Germany's position elsewhere. But the Soviets were preparing massive offensives across Ukraine. The Soviets anticipated the German attack and transformed Kursk into a fortress. 6 defensive belts, 9,200 kilometers of trenches, and 1 million mines were prepared. Anti-tank strongpoints, dug-in vehicles, and new tactics to counter German Tiger tanks made the battlefield deadly. Partisans behind enemy lines sabotaged railways and supply lines. Germany's plan, Operation Citadel, aimed to encircle and destroy the Red Army in Kursk. But delays plagued the offensive.
No, it must be tolerated! Advance!
If we delay any longer, the Soviets will grow stronger. Kursk must be struck now, or we lose the initiative forever.
Hold the line! Kursk must not fall!
We were promised victory, but this feels like a grave.
Hitler hesitated, waiting for clarity in the Mediterranean.
Let them attack. Let them bleed. When they weaken, we strike.
And heavy rains turned roads to mud. By July 5th, the Germans finally attacked. 900,000 men, 3,900 tanks, but underestimated Soviet strength. 2.6 million men, 8,900 tanks, and 47,400 artillery pieces. On July 4th to 5th, German soldiers surrendered to the Soviets, warning them of the imminent attack.
The counter-offensive must begin here. Agreed, but the terrain is difficult. We can use this path to flank them. The northern flank is exposed. We must reinforce it immediately. Agreed. Then Lvov is also critical. I concur.
Early Soviet artillery strikes do little damage. As the ground attack begins, Germans pierce the first defensive belts. Soviet counterattacks struggle. German tanks dominate, though mines and artillery slow their advance. Despite initial gains, the Germans failed to encircle the Soviets. Army Group South is too weak to complete the pincer. Hitler diverts attention to Sicily, but the real problem is insufficient forces. With Soviet reserves ready, Citadel stalls, marking the first major German failure. On July 12th, the Soviets launch Operation Kutuzov in the north.
Achtung! Feindbewegung voraus! Jawohl! Geil!
In August, Operation Rumyantsev follows in the south, with 7 armies and 2 tank armies advancing toward Kharkiv. German forces are stretched thin. Soviet troops liberate Belgorod and Ariel, steadily pushing the Germans back. The Battle of Kursk ends on August 23rd. Soviet losses, 1.2 million men, 7,000 tanks, 3,000 aircraft. German losses, 203,000 men, 1,200 tanks, 650 aircraft. Despite heavy Soviet casualties, Kursk is a decisive German defeat. Hesitation, underestimation, and numerical disadvantage left no margin for error. The Red Army stops a major German summer offensive and seizes the initiative. Kursk exhausted German forces in the east. Morale fell, and occupation policies hardened. For the Red Army, Kursk marked the beginning of a westward advance that would reach Berlin in 1945. The battle changed the course of the war and the lives of millions under German occupation. The Battle of Kursk stands as the largest tank battle in history and a turning point on the Eastern Front. German miscalculations, Soviet preparedness, and sheer attrition shifted the momentum of the war. For the first time, the Red Army proved it could stop the Wehrmacht and then take the offensive.